Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a while since I posted here last, but it's for a reason. I'm working on a game using Cave Engine 1.2. As you guys know, one of the principles here at Uniday Studio and for the development of the engine is that I don't want you to be this test subject. So every new feature, we actually use it here in our studio. And of course, we are working hard in Crawl, our game that it will come to Steam very soon. So because of that, we are not like having a lot of time to test the new features. So because of that, I decided to make a new game. And this is exactly what you're talking about. I will talk about the game a little bit and also about the new features for Cave. But by the way, I realized that it will take a lot of time to finish this game. I really want to put some effort in it. So I will probably gonna be releasing Cave 1.2 very soon because most of the features that will come to 1.2 are already getting there in a very good state. There's just a little bit of fine tune yet for me to finish it up, but it will be out very soon. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel. I realize that more than 70% of you guys are not subscribed, so please subscribe if you want to see more progress on this game, more progress on the game engine behind it, which is Cave, and a lot of game dev stuff. Okay, so what is this game? Well, I'm actually making a Shadow of the Colossus inspired game. So you are a slave. The name of this guy is Arsen or Arden. I'm not sure yet, but I'm calling this one of these two names. And this guy is a slave. So you initially, I don't want to put some spoilers. I'm actually not going to do any spoilers. So you are in this land and you have giants here and you need to climb the giants and defeat them, just like Shadow of the Colossus. So I've been working on the main mechanics for this game. But before I move on and showcase the climbing and all that, because I do have everything set up here, I will talk a little bit about why I decided to make this game in particular. As I said, one of the core principles here in the engine, in our studio is I don't want you to be a test subject. So for Cave 1.2, there's a lot of new features, such as the new improved rendering. Yes, we have HDR right now, so this guy have a lot of brightness and then also the sun, but the shadows are very dark. But there's eye adaptation, so the exposure here is adjusting everything. Of course, everything is customizable, so if you don't like this, you can adjust and change to your own needs. But we do have this. We also have better physically based rendering. The rendering is so much more interesting and realistic. Right now we do have displacement map. You can see in the ground the sand here. This is actually a displacement map sand, so it looks super 3D, but it's actually not. This is some Quixel mega scans because now thankfully Unreal Engine now have Fab, which is, according to Unreal Engine users, bad for them, but for us it's very good because we can download every asset very easily and put into Cave, and the license actually permit this. So this is some mega scans. The scaling may be wrong, but I'm not a good artist, so I need to fine tune this. So this is just a test subject. You can see this rock here is literally floating. But what else is new in Cave? The terrain system is very new, so I'm actually using this game to test, and oh boy, I've been improving a lot of things here, and this is why I like this philosophy that we have. I don't want to be like Godot or Unity that develop stuff and just throw for you the developers, like the game dev, to actually test it. I want to be the developer of the engine, but also the main guy using it, because if a new feature sucks, well, I'll be the first one to realize that, so I'll have the chance to fix it. So this is what have been happening with the terrain system. For example, something that I noticed after using it for a while, and this is something that I haven't fixed yet, so this is why I'm talking about it, is that there's a little bit of a discrepancy in the terrain that gets rendered to the screen and the terrain that gets used by the physics. So let me try to find a spot where I'm actually floating or under the terrain. Well, I'm not floating. I think in that slope I will float a little bit. So I'm trying to work and fix this. So this is why it's very useful for me to actually use the engine, use the features before you. So I'm floating a little bit right now. You can see one of my feet. Now I'm floating a lot, as you can see here. And now at some position, I'm probably gonna be under the terrain. like this. Anyways, so this is something that I'm fixing, and again, good news for you because you don't get to worry when this gets released. But this is not everything. The other thing that got like huge improvements here, I believe it's a new feature actually for this version, is inverse kinematics. So you can see that the character is looking. You can see the character's head. He's looking at my camera view, unless of course I'm looking to the other side. But this is not new. Actually, you can do this in Cave 1.1, which is available for now, right now for you to purchase and use it. But what is new is, let me try to find some more dramatic situation here. The feet of the character actually aligns with the ground 100% of the time. So this is a little bit more dramatic. You can see the character feet is aligning with the ground. And why that? Because of inverse kinematics. So there's a lot of new stuff here that you can use for the inverse kinematics. For example, the hands and the feet here. There's climbing right now, and it is aligning the hands and the feet with the rocks using inverse kinematics. By the way, the alignment here in this rock in particular is not perfect because this rock, like in the final game, you're not going to be meant to climb rocks because this rock is very high resolution, so there's a lot of vertices, and it's not a good idea to use the actual high resolution mesh to calculate physics. So because of that, in game development, it's very useful, it's very common to create a low resolution rock to serve as a collision mask. So you can see the character cannot go across this rock because there's a low resolution mesh here to calculate the physics. This is pretty standard game development, but of course, if you're climbing the mesh, you want your hand to be like 100% aligned with the surface of the rock. To avoid this to happen. As you can see, my hand is inside the rock. But so in the game, I'm not going to be able to climb this low resolution rocks. There will be specific places where the character will be able to climb, just like Shadow of the Colossus. You can only climb into fur or moist. So this will be the case here as well. So this is why I'm not worrying. This is not a glitch. This is not the inverse kinematics working wrong. It's just because if I enable the bug physics, you see that this is actually accurate. Just the mesh is a little bit different. But anyways, it is working, and oh boy, it is very hard to make character climb a regular surface like this. It is absolutely hard, man. You have no idea how hard it is. And Cave is getting some new features because of that, so I'm very happy for that. Now there's a function in the mesh called walk mesh that basically serves for you to walk in a specific direction in a mesh. Okay, this is not a navigation mesh, by the way, it's something else. But yes, it's very nice. And I'm working on this. By the way, this game is very working in progress, as you can see. But why I'm making a Shadow of the Colossus? Well, basically because there's a huge terrain in Shadow of the Colossus, and it's a huge desert, as you can see here. There's a lot of sand, so this is a perfect opportunity to showcase the terrain system here in Cave. But also, there's a lot of inverse kinematics, just for the character to touch the ground every time, but also to climb the walls, and also to climb the Colossus. And as you can see far away, I do have a moving mesh because yes, right now I can climb moving meshes, which is very nice. I will actually stop the game and move this closer because this terrain is huge. Actually, it's very big, and now it will take me like 5 or 10 minutes to walk to that place. Anyways, so I'm not gonna do this. By the way, again, this is work in progress. The game itself is work in progress, so I haven't finished the camera, so if you see some glitches, it's because of that. I will actually stop the game and move that moving part closer. This is my Colossus. This is the first iteration of the Colossus in a Shadow of the Colossus game, because all I wanted to see here is if the character can climb this, because this is a moving mesh, and it's absolutely hard to do this in other circumstances. But right now, first things first, let me see if the camera collision is working. It is working, as you can see here. So it's not going across the character, across this giant mesh. So let me not get stepped on, and I'll jump here to start climbing. So this is a better representation of on how the climbing will work, because this mesh here is actually the same as the physics. So you can see that now the inverse kinematics, the hands, is working. I do even have some particles. This is a very bad topology, by the way. So this is not going to happen in the final Colossus. This is just a test Colossus. So my character is having a hard time climbing up. But anyways, what is important here is I am actually being able to climb the mesh, which is very nice. Let me go up. Here we go. Let me actually try to, oops. Oops, as you can see, work in progress. Actually the camera is glitching because the center of the camera is a bit off, and I haven't fixed this in the code, by the way. This is not a cave thing, it's just my code being bad. Anyways, let me actually show this in real time. Why the camera is glitching. To actually showcase a little bit of Python scripting. I do have here some debug sphere, and this is where I do the camera collision with a sphere cast. But if I play the game, so can you see the red sphere? This is actually where the camera is casting the ray, the sphere, actually, to see if there's something in the middle. But you can see it's not in the player. So if I move close to this, it will go inside, and you can see it's glitching. So this is, again, my fault, not Cave Engine fault. It's very important to differentiate this because, well, this is skill issue, like my skill issue. Anyways, it's work in progress again. But man, look at this. I can already see this character moving around. Very nice. Now imagine when I am finally able to move the camera around, it will be very nice, very cool, right? Let me actually disable the camera collision real quick here, so you guys can see this a little bit better. So now there's no camera collision, camera can go through walls, so it will not gonna try to clip here, and then I can move a bit more freely, as you can see. And by the way, this game, well, okay, but this game that I'm building, Shadow of the Colossus, is actually one of my dream games. Like, there's basically 3 games that I always wanted to make in my entire life, and it is basically GTA. I want to make a Grand Theft Auto game. I want to make an MMO game at some point, and I also want to make Shadow of the Colossus because it's so cool, man. Climbing stuff. Defeating Colossus, it's very nice. And by the way, the camera here is actually very close to Shadow of the Colossus, so you can see I'm not touching the mouse right now. It is rotating around, it is zooming in and out. So I'm trying to do like a good job when it comes to the camera here to resemble Shadow of the Colossus. This character will actually have a mounting. I don't know if it will be a horse or something else, but it will be have a mounting to traverse the world, because this world is huge. So I'm very excited about that. See, that it will have a horse and all that. You can see it can walk a little bit slowly. You can jump. You can jump in place. You can also roll. And all that. Oh, and by the way, you can see if I rotate the character, it rotates like the spine of the character towards the direction. And this is all procedural movement, by the way. This is all procedurally made using Cave Engine. Like the animation, the power that you can have, like the amount of stuff you can do in Cave with animations, with skeletal animation, is like crazy, especially now with inverse kinematics. Like you have no idea how powerful the systems are. So you can do procedural stuff. So this guy here do have like a base animation, and then I'm modifying like the head to look at the camera position. I'm modifying the spine to turn. I'm modifying the feet to always be aligned with the ground. So there's a lot of procedural generated animation stuff here. So this is very nice. Oh, I just figured out that there's an error, by the way, in the callback. You can see below there's an error in the code. Very interesting. Anyways, let me wrap it up this video by quickly showcasing a little bit of the terrain system here in this version of the engine, because you can see we can create custom terrains, and this is very nice. Let me actually disable mist here because the mist is really in the way. So you can see it's a gigantic terrain. It can be much larger if I want to, but this would be probably enough for this game. And what I can do is like edit the terrain, and then with the sculpt brush can start making like a hole here in the ground. And you'll be able to see this very easily here. So for example, this will probably be like a Colossus area or something like that. So I can make this very large hole in the ground. Of course, I can use other features, by the way. I can, for example, set the height directly to 0. So this will be much faster, but of course, I'm not sure if this will be like the best way to do it. Anyways, so let me actually scoop this back a little bit up. And let me actually flatten this a little bit. Put 1.0 strength in the brush. Perfect. This is like a quick modification that I'm doing here. Very bad, but I think it will be enough for you to see what is going on with the terrain features. Let me actually smooth this a little bit. And if I play the game, well, where is the terrain? Oh, here you are. You can see it's gigantic because I cannot even walk there this fast. I think I need to put like a super speed here to be able to reach this faster. But you can see I do have a giant hole. Oh, and this is a great example of why this is work in progress, the terrain system. You can see I'm floating. Yes, the physics, there are discrepancies in cliffs. But Jesus Christ, this is a huge terrain. Anyways, let me actually go ahead. Well, this I think this is too big actually. Let me flatten this a little bit up because I think it's too steep actually. It's a giant hole in the ground. And then I will move this up. And then what I can do is go back to manipulation tool and grab some rocks here, like this one. And I will actually change the scale of this rock and place it over there. And this is the part where an artist will have a great time, and me as a programmer, I'm not gonna have a good time because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I think it would be nice to have this rock here. If you're like an artist and you're watching this, please critique my rock placement. because of course I want some realistic stuff. And then I'll get the terrain tool back and I'll finish this part here because I don't want this part to be showing. Put one last one here. I think I will need to have another one right here. Yeah, so now I'll go back to the terrain. I'll edit the terrain and I'll try my best, I promise, to make this better. For example, I'm probably gonna have to sculpt a little bit, like a lot up this part here. Oh my god, this is already looking terrible. And by the way, regarding the sculpt tool here, you can see I do have different modes here, and I do have like the fall off. I can control the fall off here to create a better brush and all that. And the flatten, for example, this works if I'm hovering a non-terrain area, so, as you can see here. So this is not a terrain, but I can still flatten to this, you know, just of course very useful, unless you're doing this. So you can see here that I'm creating this coverage. Perfect. You're seeing a live programmer art using Cave Engine. Please rate my programmer art in the comments if you made this far into the video. I would love to see your feedback on my programmer art skills. And if you're an artist again, please tell me what you would do differently when creating a map like that. Oh my god, I'm really messing this up right now. Oh, okay. It is still work in progress, as you can see. Oh, I think that now what I need to do is to like scope things a little bit. Oh my god. The good thing is that I have a smooth, this move tool. Let me see if there's a visible corner here. That is. Increase the settings. Here we go. And it's amazing what you can do with this move tool here when it comes to terrain. Really amazing. For example, here it looks bad until I smooth things out. Increase the power of this a little bit. Something I can do as well here, just to break this terrain thing a little bit, is to create a little bit of noise here. So if I click here, crazy scaling, it will randomly raise stuff. It's a bit aliased at the moment, as you can see. But nothing that a simple pass of smooth doesn't solve. Maybe more passes of smooth. Let me actually walk here. Let me actually go back to the manipulation tool. I'll get the character. I'll place this character over here and I'll play the game. I need to make it stop rotating. Oh, this is the physics that I said. Yeah, you can see. It's a loud mesh. And this is gigantic. Very nice. And I believe like the rocks, the scales of the rocks are now like a little bit better. I think it would be probably terrible to climb in. Yeah, I cannot even climb because it's steep. I can climb a little bit here. Anyways, very nice. All right, folks, I wanted to make like a 5-minute video about this project, but here I am almost half an hour later. But I hope you enjoyed this. This is actually a great opportunity for you to have a quick look on how Cave 1.2 development looks like. Remember, if you want to purchase Cave right now and start making your game, you can. The links will be in the description, and the games you make with Cave 1.1, which is the latest release, will be available with Cave 1.2, so you don't need to worry about losing your progress when 1.2 comes out. Okay, so they'll be compatible actually. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I see you in the next video. Bye.